Fire rained from the sky. Screams tore through the night. And the ground of Enari trembled under the feet of warriors as blood soaked the earth. Oleoma stood in the middle of it all, her lion-headed staff blazing with light, her body covered in dust and blood, her eyes burning with fury. Enemies closed in from every side. Blades clashed. Shields shattered. And still, she did not fall. Because this war did not begin here. This war began the day the world chose to hate a girl who only knew how to love. In a quiet village once filled with whispers and judgment, lived Oleoma, the girl they called cursed. Rejected because of her mother's name, feared for a darkness she never carried, yet she chose kindness when the world gave her cruelty. She saved a dying man, faced the spirits of Ohamiri Grove, and walked out alive when no one ever had. But her light drew shadows. From jealous enemies, to powerful men who feared her rise. Oleoma's life became a battlefield long before the war ever began. She uncovered the truth of her royal blood, won the heart of Prince Ifukando, and stood against betrayal, poison, and death itself. Each time they tried to break her, she rose. Stronger. Deadlier. Unstoppable. Until the day darkness returned with an army. A war that would decide the fate of everything she loved. And now, with fire falling from the sky, and her people on the edge of destruction, the enemy stepped forward. Cold. Ruthless. Unshaken. Eguba. The warlord of blood. The man who feared nothing. Before the eyes of the entire kingdom. He looked straight at the queen. And challenged her to single combat. She met him with the lion-headed staff. Their battle lit up the night. Sparks flew. Blood splattered. The people watched in terror. Eguba struck Oleoma's arm, drawing blood. But her fury burned brighter. She broke his sword with her staff and struck him down. Before dying, he whispered, "You think this ends with me? The curse is older than your kingdom." As dawn broke, the battlefield was littered with the dead. Oleoma stood among them, bloodied but unbroken. She declared a week of mourning. No music, no laughter, only prayers and firelight. While the kingdom mourned, Nkiru continued her secret training in the caves with Mama Ginger. She learned to move in silence, to strike without warning, and to read hearts through their eyes. Ifunanya discovered a hidden chamber beneath the palace, a vault of ancient fire used by the first queen of Enari. The fire whispered to her, calling her name. "One of you must rise, one must fall," it warned. Tension brewed between the sisters. Rumors spread that both wanted the crown. The people began to choose sides. Oleoma wept at night. "Must love always be torn by destiny?" she asked the stars. The blind oracle who had vanished after Njuku's fall returned. He came with red dust on his feet and tears in his eyes. He declared, "A shadow grows in the heart of light. One sister must choose the path of pain, or all shall burn." A mysterious figure known only as the Whisperer began appearing in villagers' dreams, sowing fear of the royal twins. "Hit the fire or be consumed by it," the voice hissed. Oleoma summoned the dream priest, who warned that an ancient spirit had awakened. One night, Nkiru woke to find a knife under her pillow with a message, "Strike first, or she will." Her hands trembled. She hid the knife and told no one, but her heart grew heavy with fear and sorrow. Ifunanya healed a wounded traitor caught spying near the palace. The act earned her love from the people but suspicion from the guards. Nkiru watched from afar, unsure if her sister was naive or truly blessed with divine compassion. Mama Ginger led both girls to the sacred moon pool. They were to offer a drop of blood each. If the water boiled, war would come. The pool shimmered, then boiled violently. "The spirits have chosen conflict," Mama Ginger whispered. Hidden beneath the moon pool was a scroll from the first queen of Enari. It foretold of twin queens who would tear the kingdom or save it. Oleoma read it in silence, then wept. How do I choose between my children? She whispered. A mysterious fire consumed the village granary. Accusations flew. Nkiru blamed the queen's advisors, but others claimed the twin had started it. Chaos gripped the kingdom. People demanded a sign from the gods. The air grew thick with suspicion. During a gathering, Ifunanya declared before the crowd, "I do not want the throne if it means losing my sister." Nkiru looked away, tears in her eyes. The people murmured, divided and confused. Nkiru vanished one night. She left only a note: "Peace cannot bloom in divided soil. I go to find the root of this curse." Olioma sent warriors to search every hill and shrine. None found her. Ifunanya blamed herself. Nkiru wandered to the ruins of Njoku's fallen fortress. There, she discovered carvings of her family, etched in curses and warnings. She saw a mirror stone and in it, a vision of herself with bloodied hands, standing over her sister's crown. Nkiru returned to Enara wearing a red veil and eyes full of purpose. "I have seen what may come," she said. "But I will rewrite the ending. No sister of mine shall fall, not while I still breathe." Ifunanya met her sister in the palace garden. "Will you still fight beside me?" she asked, voice trembling. Nkiru held her hand. "I will fight the darkness, not you. Let no crown come between our hearts." Mama Ginger revealed an ancient book hidden in her staff, one that told of twin queens born every 4 centuries. The book claimed the last pair ended in betrayal and ruin. "You too must break the pattern," she warned. Olioma called a meeting of all warrior leaders, shamans, and chiefs. "The time has come to choose a successor," she declared. Gasps filled the room. "It must be done before the kingdom splits," she continued. "We choose not by blood, but by sacrifice." Both sisters agreed to undergo the trial of flame, a test meant to reveal the true bearer of the queen's fire. In the sacred grove, each was given a flame to carry through the forest of whispers. The one whose flame survived would be chosen. As they walked alone, spirits whispered doubts and fears. Nkiru saw herself forgotten. Ifunanya saw Nkiru's blood on her hands. Each pressed forward. Trees closed in. Shadows moved. But neither flame dimmed. At dawn, both girls emerged from opposite sides of the forest, flames still burning. The elders were stunned. "This has never happened before," they said. Mama Ginger closed her eyes. "Then let both rise." Olioma declared a new era. "Enara shall have 2 thrones. 2 flames, 1 kingdom," she said. Nkiru and Ifunanya were crowned co-queens, rulers in balance, one of justice, the other of compassion. The land rejoiced. Rebellions calmed. Villages once lost returned to loyalty. Together, the sisters ruled wisely. They traveled to distant lands, healing rifts and planting peace. Years passed. Mama Ginger passed on, smiling. Olioma grew old and wise, her legacy sealed in every heart. The lion-headed staff was split in 2, half for each daughter. The golden heart of the kingdom beat strong. On the eve of Olioma's passing, the people gathered to sing. From shame to queen, from fire to peace, the chorus echoed. In the sky, 2 stars burned bright, twin flames watching over Enara forever. Far beyond Enara, in a village called Umwama, a young girl named Nena scrubbed her hands until they bled. Her mother's voice rang out, sharp and cruel, "Even the river cannot wash your shame." Nene bit her lip and said nothing. Nena's mother was once a palace maid cast out for theft. The village never forgot. They mocked Nena as daughter of disgrace. Boys threw stones. Girls whispered. Yet she carried her pot to the stream every day, her head high and eyes full of quiet fire. One afternoon, Nena wandered too far and entered the forbidden grove, where it was said spirits whispered in trees. There, she found an abandoned flute made of bone. When she played it, the wind changed, and voices whispered her name. The village oracle, blind and bent with age, called for Nena. "The blood in you is not ordinary," he said. He handed her a charcoal drawing of a star shrouded in darkness. "Your shame is your power, child of ash." At the market, Nena touched the basket and the fruits inside withered. Traders screamed. "She is cursed." Her mother slapped her before the crowd. "You were born to shame me further," she cried. Nena ran into the forest, tears burning. In the woods, Nena met a strange boy who shimmered like heat waves. "Don't cry," he said. "They fear what they don't understand." He gave her a necklace of bone and vanished. That night, she dreamed of lions and flames. Nena fell ill for 3 days. On the third, a mark appeared on her palm, a spiral of fire. The village elder fainted at the sight. "This is the mark of the long-forgotten ones," he whispered. "The fire blood." Instead of awe, the villagers turned on her. "Witch! Demon's child," they shouted. Her mother locked her inside a hut and told the elders, "Do what you must. I am finished with her." That night, a fire broke out in the village. Flames danced but did not burn Nena's house. She stepped out untouched, as glowing. People screamed. "She summoned the flames," the chief declared. At dawn, the council exiled Nena. Her mother didn't speak a word. She left with only the flute, the necklace, and a torn wrapper. As she walked into the unknown, she whispered, "One day, you will call my name and regret your silence." Nena wandered through bush paths and dry fields. Thorns tore her feet, but she never cried. She reached an abandoned shrine where a lonely fire flickered, waiting. She slept beside it, dreaming of queens and broken stars. A woman cloaked in blue found her in the rain. "You are walking toward your shadow," the woman said. She gave Nena roasted yam and a cloth for warmth. "Follow the river to the land of coals. There, your fire will be tested." Nena reached a village blackened by soot. Smoke rose from every roof. The people looked worn and watchful. She offered to clean, sing, carry water, anything to belong. An old widow took her in and gave her a mat to sleep. The village held a test for strangers: walk barefoot through a ring of hot coals. If they burned you, you were unworthy. Nena stepped in. The flames tickled but didn't scar. The crowd gasped. "She is one of the marked," the widow said. That night, the fire spoke. "The curse on your blood is ancient, but not eternal." "Who cursed me?" Nena asked. The fire answered, "Not who, but what. Your soul once belonged to the stars, and they are jealous." Nena found a black feather near the widow's hearth. When she picked it up, a shadow passed across the sun. The widow warned her, "Do not follow its trail unless you are ready to bleed for what you love." A dying traveler whispered a prophecy before he passed: "When the flame touches the broken throne, the lost heir shall rise." He pressed a coin into Nena's hand. On it was the symbol of Enari, the lion and twin stars. In a distant palace in Enari, the co-queens, Nkiru and Ifenanya, dreamed of a girl with fire in her palm and sorrow in her eyes. "If she is real," said Nkiru, "she may be our undoing, or our redemption." Nena played the flute from the forbidden grove. Animals gathered. Children laughed. The air shimmered. The widow wept. That song, it was sung by a queen who died in fire. You carry her voice. A messenger from Enai arrived in the land of coals, asking for the girl with the fire mark. The widow pointed to Nena. "Her time has come," she said. "But tell them, she does not bow easily." Nena traveled with the royal escort through forests and red earth plains. Whispers followed her at every stop. Some called her a savior, others a threat. She stayed silent, clutching her flute and necklace. When Nena arrived at the gates of Enari, both co-queens awaited her in silence. Ifenanya's eyes held warmth, Nkiru's, still. "Let her speak," said Olioma's daughters. Let the fire introduce itself. In the royal court, Nena knelt but raised her head. I bring no war, only truth, she said. She opened her palm to show the flame mark. Gasps filled the chamber. She bears the forgotten star, the priestess said. The elders demanded a test. Let her face the lion throne, they said. Only one not consumed by visions could touch it. Nena placed her hands upon it, and saw a burning palace, a crown of ash, and a queen falling into fire. Yet she did not scream. She removed her hands. Come. I saw what may come. But it will not, she said. The priestess nodded. The flame accepts her. The throne remembers. Nena was welcomed as a child of the kingdom. Deep in the archives, Nkiru found a hidden scroll sealed with bone wax. It told of a third bloodline, a daughter born in shame to a fallen queen's maid. Nena's name was there, wrapped in prophecy and pain. News reached Nena that her village had been attacked by shadows. Her mother was missing. She asked the queens for aid. Even shame has a mother, Ifunanya said, and together they rode for Umoma. They found the village in ruins. A dark spirit had risen from the forbidden grove. Nena stood in its path, flute in hand. The spirit laughed. You will burn like the others. She played, and it screamed. As dawn rose, the people of Umoma knelt before Nena. Her mother, half burned but alive, reached for her hand. You were always more than my fear, she whispered. Nena kissed her forehead and forgave her. Back in NRI, a celebration was declared. The co-queens stood beside Nena. She is no longer exile, they said. She is flame reborn, shame undone. A daughter of the kingdom. In the northern mountains, a new threat stirred. A masked priestess named Ezumizu gathered followers of the old ways. They crowned children while forgetting the gods, she declared. Let us remind them through blood and storm. Mama Ginger's scroll revealed a terrifying truth. Ezumizu was once a royal seer exiled by Olioma for human sacrifice. She had ties to Nena's bloodline, and now sought to twist it to her dark will. Ifunanya began having dreams of Nena seated on a burning throne. Fear festered in her heart. Nkiru noticed her unease. We must not fear what was sent to heal us, she warned, but doubt already bloomed. Ezumizu sent spies to sow unrest in border towns. Villages began to vanish overnight, leaving behind only ash. Nena volunteered to investigate, joined by a loyal warrior named Oduka, who once served Aguba but had since repented. Deep in the woods, they were attacked by creatures with burning eyes and flesh made of soot. Nena played her flute, and the creatures recoiled, but Oduka was beaten. The poison turned his veins black. Oduka begged Nena to end his suffering, but she refused. Instead, she summoned the flame in her palm. She placed it over his heart and whispered, "Be reborn, not broken." Miraculously, the poison receded. He lived. They returned to NRI with news of Ezumizu's army. Panic swept the palace. She wants the flame blood for herself, said Mama Ginger. To turn Nena into a weapon of the gods. Ezumizu marched on NRI. The palace lit its final fires. Nena stood between the co-queens as drums of war echoed. The battle raged for hours. Nena faced Ezumizu alone in the throne room. You are my shame and my promise, the priestess said. Nena raised her flute and played the song of her mother's pain, the widow's kindness, the sister's trust. The palace shook. Ezumizu screamed and crumbled into dust. The sky cleared. Peace returned. Nena was crowned Flamekeeper of NRI, a title never before held. The people sang, from ash she rose, with fire she healed. And above them, 3 stars glowed, justice, compassion, and redemption. What did you think of today's story? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you had fun, make sure to like and subscribe. We've got many more stories coming your way.